you something I learned over the weekend? I had no idea. Bill O'Reilly is a scream. I mean, he is really funny. We were on stage together in Long Island, and we'll show you some clips. I mean, he's laugh out loud funny. I don't know what happened. You got to see it. Coming up in a minute. Now, State of the Union is on Wednesday. Normally, I avoid the State of the Union like it's the plague. It's 2 minutes of content and 40 minutes of yes from one side of the room, and the other's going, oh, that's crazy from the other side. This time, however, I'm actually interested because I can't figure out which president's going to show up. The arrogant progressive who's just going to jam everything down your throat, little person you that doesn't understand, or the guy who wakes up and says, you know what, maybe I should listen to the people. Could be a combination of both. One who is disguising his arrogance with focus group scripted words. That's the one I'm betting on showing up. The tide is turning against Barack Obama, and he knows it. Polls show he is the most polarizing president by a wide margin since they started keeping track of these things during Eisenhower. Health care is on the brink after Massachusetts was lost to a Republican. Half of those who voted for Brown said they did so as a vote against health care. Everything else was single digits. Clear repudiation of this president, and he knows it and everybody around him knows it. That's why he's called for the Marines. Yes, his trusty campaign team to save the day. One of the guys who has the worst names in America. I mean, hey, Barry changed his name. Plouffe. Might want to think about changing it. He's been relisted. Yes, Dr. Plouffe here ran Obama's presidential campaign and then tried to capitalize on it by writing a book called The Audacity to Win. Let's not go anointing this guy the next Karl Rove. I mean, being a campaign manager for Barack Obama in 2008 was kind of like coaching LeBron James into a victory, you know, in a one-on-one game against a 4-year-old with no arms. Just saying, doesn't take a genius to get that one done. But here's what Plouffe said, quote, instead of fearing what might happen, let's prove that we have more than just brains to govern, that we've got the guts to govern. Let's fight like hell. Hey, Davey, I'd like to know exactly who you're fighting against. Because it can't be the Republicans, because they don't have any power. I mean, okay, they got that one extra seat, which now, because of that one vote, Democrats can't officially anymore say, sit down and shut up. That's it. They can't stop the Democrats. So who's the enemy? Unless it's a phantom enemy. Only the shadow knows. It's a page ripped right from the Hugo Chavez School of Governing. He's a radical Marxist revolution. I wonder if there's any connection there. You'll have to tune in tomorrow and find out. You see, here's what Chavez does. He blames the wealthy for all his country's issues, making the case people suffer because of the evil wealthy. They're taking long showers. Yes, not because of him, but because of other people. You don't have more water? What? Oh, it's other people, not me, the ruler. Who is this administration fighting against? Actually, maybe the question, a better question would be, who are they fighting for? Americans have spoken on health care. 77% of Bloomberg subscribers polled thinks he's anti-business. There's an overwhelming opposition to Obama's latest bank reform. His overall approval rating has sunk to 48% and is still going down. There is even a shortage of Obama fans writing letters to news outlets. They've had to recycle, reuse and recycle, as a dozen papers nationwide have had to rely on one lone fan. Each, Ellie Light, from that city every time. It's weird. An Obama supporter who almost has identical letters, and they have mysteriously appeared in places like the Philadelphia Daily News, San Francisco Examiner, Washington Times, papers in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Bangor, Maine, Ohio, Virginia. The letters even appeared overseas in Thailand's Bangkok Post. When Ellie Light is your remaining supporter, a typical politician might triangulate and start moving towards the center, you know, like Bill Clinton did in 1994. But you see, once again, what you learned on this program is proving itself to be accurate. We are dealing with not typical politicians. We are dealing with radicals, progressive radicals, who want to fundamentally change our country. Plouffe said they have to have the guts to govern. Well, if these guys, Andy Stern, who's this one? Oh, Ron Brown, I love him. Anita Dunn. You know, if they didn't love Mao or didn't think power comes from the barrel of a gun or agree with using persuasion of power, I wouldn't have a problem with the rhetoric. Typical politicians like Nancy Pelosi were ready to raise the white flag on health care. And she said,
in its present form, without any change, I don't think it's possible to pass the Senate bill in the House. I don't see the votes for it at this time.
And now Obama has called in the campaign troops. The battle lines are being drawn. They are going to fight like hell. That's why I told you last week, these are the times that will try men's souls. We have to wait and see on Wednesday at the State of the Union which Obama is going to show up, the politician or the radical progressive. A fight for the soul of the Democratic Party. It ain't your grandpa's Democratic Party anymore. I'll explain next.